today we're going to look at how the two-dimensional array works in Java. So to get started, let me remove this one. I have here an empty program. So the name of the program is arrays2d, and here's my main method. So in this example, we're gonna build the multiplication table using a 2D array. So we're gonna store all the information in the 2D array, and then we're gonna print it out after we store all the information in it. All right, so to get started, we're gonna use an integer two-dimensional array, and let's call it A for array. I'm gonna set it equal to new integer two-dimensional array. All right, and I need to give it a length. So for the multiplication table, we're gonna go from 1 through 9, so the length is gonna be 9 rows and 9 columns. So that's my two-dimensional array declaration. Now I'm gonna load the two-dimensional array. Okay, so I'm gonna use a for loop. For integer I equals to 0, I'm gonna go to the length of the array, so I less than the array is a dot length, and I'm gonna do I plus plus. So that's my rows. Next, I'm gonna have another for loop for integer j equals to 0 through j less than. It's also gonna be the length, but it's gonna be the length of each row, because a two-dimensional array, each row can have different length. So we want it to be the length of each row. So let's see, each row is element I dot length. And I'm gonna do j plus plus. Just so you know, this is just an example, since we have these defined here as a constant 9. So we could have used 9 here instead of getting the length here, and we could have used 9 here. But in the case where, I guess, where you don't know the length, then you can get the length this way. But I guess most of the time when you define the array, you would know the length. Even if you read in from the user's input, you still have the length. But assuming you don't know the length, this is how you can get the length of the rows, the number of rows, and these are the number of columns for each row. All right, let's move on. So for each one of those, we're gonna load the array A, I, j, and we're gonna set it equal to, since we start with I equals 0 and j equals 0, so what I want to do is I want to do I plus 1 multiplied by j plus 1. So that's gonna give me from 1 through 9 instead of 0 through 8. and then I want to print the array. To print the array, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a method to do it. So here we want to print the array, and let's go down to here. We're gonna create a new method to print the array. So it's public static void, because we're not returning any value. This method will not return any value. And then let's name the method print to the array. Okay, and this method we're gonna take in an integer array, and a two-dimensional integer array, and we can call it a also. It's fine, even though this a is going to be a different a than this a. So this variable is different than this variable, because this a here is local to this method only. Then I need my brackets here. Now to print, I'm gonna do for, I'll just use a nested loop to print. I guess that would be fine. So can do for, why don't I just copy it from here? That would make it easier. So we save all the typing. I just copied it from the top down. So let's see, I want to do for I equals 0 through the length of A, that's the number of rows, I plus plus, J equals 0 through the length of each row, J plus plus, and then here I want to do a system out dot print system dot out dot print actually I want to do a print format, because it's, if I just do a print, it won't come up pretty. So let's do a print format, and we're gonna give it the 3 spaces for each field. So that's 3 spaces, and I'm just gonna change this to a comma, and I'll need the parentheses here. Alright, then that's gonna print, and then when we're all done, actually I need a bracket here, because I want to skip to the next line when we're all done. So here we're gonna do, I'm gonna put this in before I forget. So this one goes with that bracket that I just put in right here, and now I just want to skip to the next line, and that should do it. So that's my print method. So whenever I need to print now, I'm just gonna call print to the array, which is my method name here, and then I'm gonna pass in the array. So in this case, my array is, the name of my array is A, so I'm gonna pass in A, and it just happened that I have the same name here as here, but those are 2 different arrays. Alright, those are two different variables. So let's give this one a try. That's so basically what we did here is we loaded the array here. So now we have a matrix 9 by 9 with all these numbers in it, and then we just go and print the array here. All right, run it, and let's take a look. So here it is, my multiplication table. I start with 1 in the corner. So 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. 9 times 3 is 27. Here in the end we have 9 times 9 is 81. That's your multiplication table using a two-dimensional array. Thank you, everyone.